Guys, so back again, and I wanted to make a video about the biosynthetic enzyme deficiencies that we got in that module today. So it kind of got a little hairy, and I wanted to develop a system to where I could have a long-term memory storage of this and be able just to look at the enzyme's name and be able to deduce the rest of the information I need to solve the question. So come up with this, I looked up online, couldn't find any mnemonics I liked. I found a couple systems that I liked, and I kind of combined all of them here in one video, and I put a little bit of Johnny Barba flavor on it. So we'll see if it worked and if you guys like it. Hopefully it works. So I developed the system of just CAT. So CAT, and C stands for cortisol. A stands for aldosterone and corticosterone, and corticosterone is just the direct upstream precursor of aldosterone, so I clumped them together. And then T stands for testosterone, but really what T represents is all androgens, including DHEA and all the other downstream products. I just put it like that because the mnemonic is cat, right? Okay, so if you look at these and these different enzyme deficiencies, what they all have in common is they have a decrease in cortisol. Okay, so decrease in C. So I think that's really nice and helpful. Okay, now here's where we need the key. The key is if the number is 1, that certain hormone increases. And if that number in the enzyme name is not 1, then it decreases. Okay? So let's walk through that. So with the first one, with 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, okay, the first letter or the first number here is a 3. Well, 3 is not 1, therefore this decreases. So that means aldosterone and corticosterone decrease in 3-beta hydroxydehydrogenase deficiency. Okay, and then going back to organic chemistry days, which really felt like this module, right? This kind of like when you draw the beta, you always get that like style down on it, and you draw that real big, kind of like tail on it. That looks like a 1. Wouldn't you agree? That kind of looks like a 1. You buy that? It's because the 1 there in the beta, if you agree that looks like a 1, that means that increases. So then in 3-beta hydroxydehydrogenase deficiency, you have an increase in testosterone, which really represents an increase in androgens. Okay? So let's do the next one. So how about 17-alpha hydroxylase? Well, the first number is a 1. That means this increases aldosterone and corticosterone. Now I know what you're thinking. The module did not say aldosterone increases, it said it stayed flat. But if you look at Pathoma, if you look at Boards and Beyond, if you look at all the secondary resources, including first aid, it states that it increases. And I sent them an email to double check this logic, but I believe it's just because it's an enzyme deficiency, and even if it's just in the fasciculata and the reticularis, yes, it would not affect aldosterone, but I believe it's more of a global effect on the entire cortex, and that's why you're getting those that increase in aldosterone. So all the secondary resources agree that it increases, so I'm going to roll with it, and it helps with the mnemonic, so let's go with it. So with 17-alpha hydroxylase deficiency, the first number is 1. That means aldosterone and corticosterone increase. The next number is 7, which is not 1. So that means decrease. So that means testosterone and the androgens decrease. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. So in 21 hydroxylase deficiency, this is not 1. That means decrease. So there's a decrease in aldosterone and corticosterone. And there is a 1 here. So that means there's an increase in testosterone / androgens. Okay, that's all good. Now here's where it gets a little bit more I kind of made this mnemonic more for maybe step prep, but it also really, I think, can work for this module as well. So if we look at 11-beta hydroxylase deficiency, E is not 1. E is not 1, right? So not 1 means it decreases. So there is a decrease in aldosterone and corticosterone. Okay? Cool. And then the next one is a 1, so that means testosterone and androgens increase. Okay, we're all good there. But if you look at like secondary resources and you look at first aid and Boards and Beyond, it shows that, even though aldosterone and corticosterone, they decrease, because again, not 1, there is this other mineral corticoid called deoxycortisone, which is just directly upstream. It goes deoxycortisone, then corticosterone, and then aldosterone in that order. And actually, because this enzyme deficiency affects kind of corticosterone and down, it's reasonable to say that corticosterone and aldosterone decrease, because E, not 1, decrease, but it actually leads to the increase in this product of 11-deoxycortisone, which acts like a mineral corticoid. So you get the same effects. essentially, okay? But I don't know if that's low yield or what at this point, but it is what it is, okay? And just the last thing, just for completeness, so that's the whole system there. And just for completeness, to have all those enzyme deficiencies of the Cortex on here, I just like that cortisone and aldosterone, as we've been clumping them together, they're buddies, they're friends. So cortisone goes and leads to aldosterone via aldosterone synthase, and by default, if aldosterone synthase is deficient, that means its upstream product of corticosteroids would increase, and that means its downstream product of aldosterone will decrease. I hope that helped. Good luck studying, and have fun.